on, my people? What is going on? Welcome to our Friday night live. I hope that everyone's doing well. I hope that you are ready, because we're about to have us a good time on tonight. This is one of those shows where the way I am, the way I live, the way I get down, I'm always thinking, this is it. This is it. This is my last. I live every day like it's my last day. And so I always have in the back of my mind, this is it. This is it. We wrapping it up after tonight. Tonight, we just saying everything that we want to say. I am not holding back. And so if you came looking for maybe some cigar talk, you came looking for just something calm, something relaxing, if you came just looking to chill, relax, my friends, today we doing something different. We just going all in. We having some hardcore man talk. So let's go ahead and check in. Let me know how everyone is doing. Let me know where everyone is. And so for me, I'm here in California, where, if you remember, couple weeks ago, months ago, we had fires. And so it was just the tragedy of the fires. Then we got a little bit of snow. Now we got rain. And so I'm outside. That's why I got the beanie on. I got my jacket on. I got thermals on. I think it's about 40 degrees here in sunny Southern California. I'm outside. Thought about doing this inside, but I don't like to smoke up the lounge a little bit too much. In fact, just last night I smoked inside. So I had me a good CAO Brasilia inside, had it with some scotch. And tonight, I am not playing. We are not playing around tonight. This is one of those shows where I say, hey, look, this might be my last show. Because I'm saying everything I've been wanting to say. I'm watching society and I'm seeing what's going on. And I'm just going to say what I want to say. And so this will not be a politically correct show. We going in. We talking about manhood. Talking about all these sensitive brothers, emotional men that's around here. Deadbeat dads that's around here. So we having some hardcore conversation. I'm not playing around today. We are about to do this. And to prove to you, I'm not playing around. Go ahead and check on in. Let me know what you have in your glasses. Let me know what you have. Let me know what you have. What is your cigar? What am I going to pour in my glass tonight? We are not messing around. You about to get beat. We got Ardbeg Ugadale. We are not playing. I'm drinking gasoline, diesel, petroleum. We're not playing around today, gentlemen. We are going hardcore. And so I said, what do I need in my glass? A little truth serum. Make sure I'm speaking the truth, not holding back, saying everything that needs to be said. We got our Ardbeg Ugadale. And so this is some scotch, some peat. What does it taste like? Tastes like manhood. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like manhood. And so some say it's very peaty. Some say they get a lot of charcoal on this. I get some pleasant raisin, sherry notes. And so this is what I pull out on a cold day. This is what I pull out when it's time to take the gloves off. This is me. And my cigar for this evening, gonna go with the Almac Maduro. Almac Maduro. Someone hit me up the other day and they said, you said, they reminded me that I said I don't like AJ cigars, and foundation is sometimes AJ. And sure. Now, those who smoke foundation cigars know that foundation cigars, they don't taste anything like a typical AJ cigar. Foundation cigars has a more of a sweeter profile on them, and it's Almac. Although it looks intimidating, it's actually kind of pleasant. So, gentlemen, go ahead and check on in. Let me know that you are safe. Let me know that you're doing good. Like I said, the weather where I am is just absolutely crazy. It's been raining all day. It's been cold. And so I've had the heater on. I'm in Southern California now. I've had the heater on all day long. It's been cold, but we're going to have some cold, hard truth on today. And so we diving into this. 6:08. Whoever's here is here. We starting. No more delay. We talking about some hardcore man stuff on today. We talking about some man stuff today. We might get into some cigars. We might talk about some image, but we just got to go old school. I'm seeing so much. The way things are today, most of the times I just feel like maybe it's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm the Martian. Maybe I'm the outsider. Maybe I don't fit in. There used to be a time where you can go to a man, just talk to him. You didn't even have to know him. But you know that because this was a man, that he lived by certain principles, certain character, certain resolve, that he just carried himself a certain way. You just knew what you're going to get because you're talking to a man. And now in 2025, you don't know what you're talking to. You don't know what you're getting into. Now, this conversation could go a whole bunch of different ways. I'm not even talking about sexuality tonight. I'm just talking about just plain old, just character, strength, masculinity. I'm just talking about just can I interact with you as a man? I'm talking about can I look you in the eye? Is your yes, yes? Is your no, no? Can I depend on you for something? We're in a place now where it's really hard to tell, to decipher. We're in a place where it's really hard. I think a man ought to just carry himself a certain way. As I mentioned, with a certain character, a certain resolve. Be solid, stand on your square. I mentioned that I'm in Southern California. We've had earthquakes, fires. My last home almost burnt down a couple years ago, the Thomas Fire. This house I'm in now almost burnt down a couple months ago. A couple years ago was the Thomas Fire. A couple of months ago was the new fire, the Palisades Fire, the Altadena Fire. And whenever there's tragedy, whenever we have an earthquake here in California, Me and my wife could be on the couch, and if there's an earthquake, the earth shakes, the whole house shakes. And she looks to me. She looks over at me to see what is my response. And even if I'm frightened, I got to show resolve and grit. I got to sit there and let her know everything's going to be okay. My kids might be looking, is everything okay? And just my facial expression, the way my posture is got to show that everything is fine. That's manhood. That you don't give in to the moment. You don't react. You don't show that fear. You don't start panicking. You don't say, oh no, earthquake, what are we gonna do? No, you a man. You handle it. You show some grit. You show just a little bit of resolve. When we had the fires, one day we had no lights. The whole neighborhood completely pitch black. Right away, my neighbor came over, said, are you guys okay? Welcome, my sister. You're gonna really enjoy this conversation because we talking about a whole bunch of man stuff tonight. And I always like to say, I got 2 daughters, a wife, 4 sisters, 2 aunties. I think we as men got to be better men for our women, for my daughters, for my sisters. And so my sister, welcome. You are in the right place because we're going to have this conversation because I think things is just falling apart. What's going on, my brother Stogie? Is my internet acting up? Let me know if I'm not coming in good for y'all. I'm sitting outside, it's raining. But as I was saying, in my neighborhood, we had fires. When the fires happened, my neighbor, he came over right away. He said, you guys good? I said, I'm good. Are you guys good? We started checking up on other neighbors because the whole neighborhood is just pitch black. Can't see nothing. There comes times where men just have to step up, where men just gotta corral and men just gotta come together, take care of the neighborhood, take care of the church, take care of the city, the country. And my neighbor was able to come over to me because he knew what kind of man I was. I can go over to him. I know what kind of man he is. I know that when there's tragedy, we could connect, help each other. That's how it used to be. But now when tragedy happens, now when there's crisis and chaos, and now when you want to turn to one of your brothers and say, hey, what's going on? You don't even know what you're gonna get. All that character, all that manhood, all that masculinity, all that grit. You don't know what you knock on your neighbor's door now, and you don't know what you're gonna get. Again, I grew up as a kid in the Caribbean when hurricanes would just destroy everything. The next day, the men got up and cleaned everything up, picked up fallen trees, helped whoever needed to be helped. But now I don't know what you're going to get when you step outside. Now I don't know what you're going to get when you knock on your neighbor's door. Now that man who you was expecting to help you, I don't know what kind of man he is. Everything has changed. Everything is changing. And for me, I grew up around a lot of men. I was that little kid hanging out on the court with the men, hanging out, chilling, learning from them, listening to them. Grew up, went into the Marine Corps, where I'm hanging out with men. It doesn't matter what color you were, white, black, Asian, African. Hispanic, we all connected. You knew what you're going to get from another man. After the Marine Corps, went into the trucking industry, got involved with my church, got involved with my fraternity. And so I'm in all these places where you got some men. And I think at some point I must have just put my head down and I stopped looking at society. And one day I looked up and I tried to have a conversation with the waiter at a restaurant. I tried to talk to one of my neighbors. I tried to have a conversation with a man, and I realized that things is different. Men ain't the same no more. A lot of guys, they ain't giving off that masculine energy. A lot of guys, they not solid. A lot of guys, you can't depend on them. They ain't got no integrity anymore. There's no ethics. There's no values. And the biggest thing that I really want to get into is just looking at emotions. Sensitivity. And so as I'm enjoying my Ardbeg Ugadale, smoking my Almat, as I mentioned, I think as a man, you got to provide some kind of energy about you. Something that says that I got you, that it's going to be okay, that we got this. As I mentioned, when we have an earthquake, my wife looks at me and she's looking to see what is going to be my response. Am I going to be as emotional as she is? Or am I going to make sure the house is secure? Make sure everything is as it should be. We got a lot of men who you can see it in their response. You see it how they handle situations. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. Where did men get all this? We need to have energy because the world is dependent on us. We need to have this masculine energy. But instead, a lot of us men, as my sister has pointed out, when it comes to my wife, my daughters, my mother, my sisters, my aunties, I'm their protector. But you can't be a protector if you just as emotional as the women. You can't be a protector if you sensitive too. You ain't protecting nobody if when the earthquake happens, you scared and panicked too. And so she's scared, the kid's scared, and you scared. And so that ain't helping nothing. And so I think that's where we are as a nation right now. That's where we are as communities right now. I think that's where we are. I hope y'all can hear me. I don't know why my camera's not on, but we still here and we still rocking out. As I enjoy my Ardbeg Ugadale along with my Olmec Maduro. And so when did all this start? When did all this start? I remember as a kid going out for the basketball team in the 8th grade. I went out for the team. I thought I was good. I was good in elementary school. I was good. I went out for the team, didn't make it. The coach didn't explain nothing. All he did was he just walked. In fact, he had us all lined up and he just pointed to us. And he just pointed to 12 people. He would say, you guys made it. Everybody else, you didn't. And that was it. There was no counseling. There was no one to make you feel better about the fact that you didn't make the team. You just didn't make it. You weren't good enough. So what did I do that whole summer? I worked out every single day. That's where Rise and Grind came from. I got up every single day and went to the court. Got up, ran, push-ups, sit-ups every single day. Because I didn't want to not make it again. Next year, went out for the team again, 9th grade. Made it, made the team, didn't play a second. In fact, when the season was winding up, I went to my coach. I saw him like in a hallway one day, pulled him aside. I said, Coach, am I going to get to play this year? This man lit me up. He said, hey, you want to play? Get better. I'm not putting you out there. You ain't good enough to play. Don't ever ask me about playing time. You don't use your words to get playing time. You want playing time? Get better. He went off on me. I'm to this day, I'm still scared of that man. To this day. But what it taught me is this ain't nothing that you could debate and argue. It ain't nothing to say. You got to put that work in. Are you good? Or are you not good? And so that's what happened. So what did I do the next summer? Worked out every single day until I got better. And come to 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, yeah, I finally got some playing time. That's how I grew up. That's the environment that I'm from, where you got to put in the work. Ain't nobody gonna cuddle you and say, it's okay, it's fine, you'll be all right. No. That's how I grew up. And after high school, I went straight into the Marine Corps. So when drill instructors were screaming in my face, that was nothing. I grew up around men. When I got out, went into the trucking industry, that was easy. I grew up around men. But now, today is different. Today, a kid goes out for the basketball team, doesn't make it, but everybody makes it. Because now they got an A team and a B team. Because nobody can deal with rejection. Nobody can be told that you're not good enough. You need to go work on your craft. Nobody can be criticized. Nobody can be told anything, right? And so there's an A and a B team. The B team is all the players that just ain't good, but we can't tell them they ain't good. And everybody has to play. There's rules. Everybody gets to play. And at the end of the season, everybody's going to get a trophy. And so what we have is what I call the 8th place trophy generation, where everybody's room is just filled with trophies. 7th place, 8th place. And after every game, mom made you some cupcakes and made you feel so special. And the problem that we find is that when you got kids who grew up like that, and now life comes at them, tragedy comes at them, hurricanes, earthquakes, fires, depressions, unemployment. When life comes at them, they're not ready for this. They're not ready to deal with life because their whole lives, they always made it and got the little trophy. And now when it's time to deal with some real realities, they got nothing. And the sad thing about it is here's what's going to happen. And this is where I come into the picture. And maybe, men like you and me and this is what some of the ladies aren't seeing. And this is where I suppose you say where it, well said, my brother. Yeah, they soft, they feminine, they emotional, they sensitive. And here's what ends up happening. And here's my trouble, my dilemma. because I've been dealing with men my whole life, dealing with situations. Again, I went from the neighborhood to the military. And so now when I'm trying to talk to a man and he one of them soft ones, them 8th place trophy ones, we can't even have a real conversation because I'm talking to him as a man and he's male and physically he's a male, but the way I understand manhood to be. And I think that's really where we're finding ourselves. Where me as a man, I have to like scale back some because I can't even approach some of these guys because I might break them because they're not what I'm expecting another man to be. And so I'll tell you this. Well said, Cordell. Yeah, playing football in the 70s. Yeah, you put the work in and then achieve as a result of it. My sister said lack of courage, strength, diligence, and ambition. That's what we're getting. And so now we see this generation where they're so soft and the other day I saw a car pulled over on the side of the road. And as a man, I'm thinking, okay, well, go help the guy out. Help him. He's probably got to change the tire, help him out. I pulled over because that's what men do. I'm going to help. I didn't know the guy. This is Los Angeles. I'm from the Caribbean, so I'm used to helping people. I go to help the guy. He said, oh, I don't need any help. AAA is on the way. Or a triple whatever. AAA. Yeah, AAA. I said, oh, man, you don't have a spare? He says, yeah, I got a spare. It's in the trunk. I just walked away. And so he was just sitting on his phone waiting for someone to come and save him and change his tire for him. And here I was, just as a man wanting to help him and say, hey, I got you, brother. What's going on here? And I thought it's going to take way too long for me to explain to him what's wrong with this situation. And so I just said, okay, AAA is on the way. They'll help you. And so what I'm seeing is just a disconnect, just a separation. And so for me in the workplace, I work with a lot of different engineers, especially there's some engineers, the younger guys who I already know, they're fragile. These guys are soft. You can't even just go up to them and talk to them. You know, man, sometimes we'll grab your hand, pull you in, give you a little hug. You will break these boys. And even just trying to have conversation with them, just looking at them saying, hey, what's going on? You can't shoot the breeze with them because one, they don't have social skills. Why? Because they didn't grow up. I grew up hanging out till like midnight just on the court. These guys, they ain't never been outside. They don't know how to engage with men. They don't know how to go back and forth. They don't know how to joke with each other. And so they become so sensitive. My sister here says that, yeah, the younger generation, they're entitled. And where does that come from? I think from us, giving them all them 8th place trophies, we made them entitled. What's going on, Brother Titan? If you get 8th place trophies your whole life and you always made the team, yeah, there's gonna be a sense of entitlement. Yeah, you're spoiled. You playing video games your whole life. But again, my biggest, not to say gripe, I guess I'm griping. I think I'm just talking, but my biggest concern is when it becomes that disconnect. Because like I said, I feel as if I've been secluded in a sense. I went from my neighborhood to the military, to the trucking industry. And now I'm in these spaces where you got all the modern men. Maybe that's the term I'll start using. You got these modern men. And I'm not used to them. And they're not used to me. And so when I engage with them, I might come across as being aggressive, but I'm just, I might be joking, But whatever I say, whether I'm joking, whether I'm serious, it's just not something that they're used to. And that's one of the things that I was thinking today. Well, how can I help? How can I help the Stogie called them soft and spoiled. My sister called them entitled. I wanted to just call them modern. They're the modern men. I think they're sensitive and emotional. And a lot of it is yes. And we're going to have all these conversations tonight. A lot of it is yes. They were raised by women, solely by women. The previous generation of men, we didn't do the best job. And we're going to talk about deadbeat dads because a lot of that created these situations. And so a lot of these men were just raised by women. So that's all that they see. They weren't outside. They weren't like me hanging out at the pool hall with the men all night. And so how do we help them? And so I am, even though, yeah, and if I come across, if you watch my channel, and guys say this all the time, if you watch my channel and if I come across as too much energy, that's because, simply put, every man in my neighborhood was like this. This is just called masculinity. It ain't toxic. It's just, there's an aggressiveness, there's an upfrontness, there's a directness, there's a in-your-faceness, there's a, this is what it is. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh my God, that's not what I'm used to. I know you're not. And that's part of the problem. Yeah, what you're used to is just something different. I won't say it's right or wrong. Yeah, as Brother Stogie said, yeah, I grew up and I didn't even know I was so, I knew I was a kid, but these was just the men. And to me, that's just what you did. There's a rites of passage. You hang out with the older men and that's how you learn and grow. You don't just play video games all day long. You don't develop like that. Now, to my sensitive brothers, to the modern men, I want to help you. I know you think I'm not trying to help you, but I am trying to help you. I do want to help you. I think it's important to help you because there will be some situations that continue to come up where we got to work this thing out. First thing I want to say is to the sensitive men, listen, a lot of what you do is entertaining to us. You got to know this. We're not laughing with you. We're laughing at you. To my sensitive brothers out there, listen, couple rules for you. It's a couple of rules. I got to give you some rules. You need to stop being so triggered all the time. In fact, here's rule number one. Stop saying the word triggered. Stop telling people you triggered. Stop sharing what triggered you. Stop posting what got you triggered. Don't use that word anymore. Masculine men don't go around talking about what triggered them. Look at me. You think anything ever triggers me? You think it's ever been a day when something happened, I was triggered? No, friends. You need to let go of that whole concept. I'm sitting outside right now and a bear could run up on me. You wouldn't even know it. I'm going to be calm, cool. I'm going to just chill, look at the bear. And if a bear pull up on me, you better be praying for the bear because I'm a man. Don't worry about no bear. I'm not even going to bat an eye. I'm just going to look back at him, see what he want to do. I'll talk to the bear. I'm scared of no bear. That's called resolve, grit. There ain't nothing that's going to happen that's going to trigger me. Ain't nothing's going to throw me off my square. Ain't nothing that's going to trip me up. Nothing's going to trigger me. And so my friends, my young brothers, please, for the love of God, stop saying how triggered you were, because all you doing, you giving the old heads. You quoted it right, my brother. You catch me in a beer in the wood, you better go help that bear. Don't worry about no bear. To my modern man, every time you say that you triggered about something, you just giving the old heads something to laugh about. You say that kind of stuff in the barbershop, soon as you walk out, the whole shop laughing at you. No other man's gonna take you serious if you always triggered. You always emotional. Something always happened that threw you off. I'm so triggered. Men, we gotta raise families, communities. We can't be so sensitive and emotional all the time. And so you need to let go of that trigger language, that trigger mentality. Oh, I was so triggered. The other thing is to the modern men out there, what's going on, my brother? Old Fogey Stogie. To get him and others who are checking in caught up, this is that show where I'm drinking my Ardbeg Ugadale. I'm just drinking diesel tonight. And I'm smoking a Almac Maduro. And I'm just, this is we call this the cancellation show. We call this the I'm just gonna say everything I've been wanting to say. And when I wake up tomorrow, my account's just gonna be deactivated for some reason. So this is just put it all out there. I'm tired of not saying it. I'm tired of seeing what I'm seeing. And so that's what we're doing, my friend. We talking about masculinity, manhood. We talking about sensitive men. How they always so triggered. To my modern brothers, stop saying you triggered. You just giving other men stuff to laugh at. When you walk away, everybody's laughing at the fact that you use the word trigger so much. Second thing, brothers, my modern men, my sensitive brothers, you gotta stop being offended all the time. You get 3 times to be offended each month. Please stop coming and telling us, what's up, Octavius? We just doing some man talk today. My sensitive brothers, no more use of the word trigger. No more use of what offended you. A man don't go around all the time talking about what offended him, what upset him. You got to let that language go. We don't roll like that. We look, if you're going to do something. But don't, you can't turn the news on and every single day you see something that offended you. Either you're going to do something or not. And so at some point, a man just got to move as a man. If you see something that's bothering you, either you're going to handle it or you ain't. If it's a channel, if it's a personality, a social media person, a celebrity, we don't need to hear how they offended you every single day. Comedians, no, let them comedians talk. Let them say what they got to say. My brother say sensitive thugs need hugs. Apparently, I'm trying to find a solution for these guys. I really am. Because I think what I know is, I come across as aggressive because in my neighborhood, I would be considered definitely not soft or nothing, but in my neighborhood, I'm quiet. Around the guys I grew up with, I'm the quiet one. And what I'm seeing again is what happens when we start merging and some of these sensitive modern men really start hanging out with some more masculine men. What's that going to look like? And I'm seeing it because again, I went from the neighborhood to the military, and now I'm seeing so much of it, and especially operating in this social media space. To my sensitive brothers, stop being triggered, stop being offended. Third thing I would say to you guys is, please, for the love of God, stop with the Stop with the long Yelp reviews, comments. Stop. You think you getting your point across, you are coming across very feminine. It's funny. We read that stuff and laugh. You can't write a 3-page Yelp review because the asparagus wasn't seasoned well. Look, don't go back to the restaurant. Just let that go. You watch a video and you didn't like what the guy said, and now you about to get to typing. You think you're getting your point across, but to the masculine man, you're looking very feminine. And I know my sisters on here, 11 Saloons, and I'm saying that as a compliment because we need the balance. My wife is a sweet, loving, kind, emotional person. I need her to be that way. She's emotional, and that's what covers us and our children. We need those emotions. But as a man, I got to be more logical. I got to be more pragmatic. As a protector, I can't be all emotional. And so it's called balance, man and woman. The man's got to be more logical. The women can be a bit emotional. But if you a man, sister concurs, leave the femininity to the women. Sensitive brothers, stop. When you write, listen, here's the rule for you. You get to be triggered once a year. One trigger per year. You get to be offended by something 3 times a month. And when you get to typing, you get 3 sentences. That's it. Don't write no long Stoicism. That's about being resolved. We talked earlier, I was talking about if a bear rush at me, I'm not even going to react. Brothers, sensitive brothers, the way you carry yourself, a lot of it we're looking at and we're laughing. A lot of it, you might think we're laughing with you, but no, we laughing at you. When that brother gets to typing and he writes up that long comment, and yeah, people, they gonna like it because they want to see a train wreck. But ain't no masculine men are looking at you thinking, wow, what kind of man is this? What kind of man got time to write? What kind of man is gonna watch a video and now he's so triggered by the video, now he typing and he writing whole paragraphs? Don't you have kids to take care of? Don't you have a wife? You typing paragraphs about another man on a video that you don't like. That ain't masculine behavior. That is not masculine behavior. And so again, to the sensitive brothers, a lot of what you're doing, I get it. We're in a social media space and you feel like, yeah, I'm winning. People like what I wrote up. They like my Yelp review. Nah, guys like me are laughing at you. And so again, I'm here to help you. I know you're gonna hear this and you're gonna be mad and you're gonna say, oh, how dare he? And that's another thing. This is the 4th thing. Sensitive brothers, stop clutching your pearls. Now, if you're from the South, you know what that means, to clutch your pearls. What does that mean? That's when something happens and women used to wear pearls back in the days. And so they would go, oh my God. It means you reacted. You did something physically. Oh my God. Oh no. Sensitive brothers, stop clutching your pearls. When something happens, you don't get to say, oh God, oh my God. Just chill. Just see it happen. Just, it's gonna be okay. Even if on the inside you're scared. Like Ron's talking about, yeah, when that beer comes and I fight the bear, I might be a little frightened. But you'll never know. Because when that bear runs up on me, I'm just looking at him. Let's do it. You see, some things you just got to keep within yourself. Some things you just got to handle as a man. And then after the incident, sure, if you got a close partner, if you got a mentor, you got your lady, there's gonna be spaces where you can let go and just share and say, hey man, this beer ran up on me. I was shook for a second, couldn't show it. So you can get it out, but some of y'all showing too much. You're showing your hand a little bit too much. And it's time to bring that in. Now here's the reason. Yeah, one, a lot of stuff you do, some of the sensitive brothers are doing is it's funny. What's going on, brother Leroy? Welcome, sir. Old fool, he's talking about coming up in the 70s. I wouldn't even talk about back then. I came up in the 90s. And so I could only imagine how it was in the 70s. And again, why am I talking about this? Why have I spent the past 46 minutes talking about this? Is because the world is just getting to a place where guys like me, and I'm sure a lot of guys like you, we just been biting our tongues, acting like we ain't seeing stuff. And I do think that at some point that's going to stop. At some point, the generations and just the different, at some point it's going to boil over. Last thing I will say, and the real reason why I really think for the sensitive brothers, why you really got to do this, is because sometimes you being sensitive and emotional and feminine sometimes your mannerisms and the way that you carry yourself, to the untrained eye, it might look like you being aggressive. And I've had situations where a guy, he's just being sensitive and emotional, but I think he's being aggressive. And based upon where I'm from, if somebody is getting aggressive, then we need to resolve it. And so for the sensitive brothers, remember, you're from a space of oh, clutch my pearls, oh my God, and you use words, but some people are from spaces where it ain't too much words to be said. And so what I'm even having to do is to say, okay, yeah, this guy just said all that he just said, and I just got to forgive it. I just got to say, no, he doesn't mean it like we would have meant it. That's just his way of expressing himself. That's just what he does. Even with comments, sometimes I look at comments, I'm like, because I'm always thinking, okay, we about to do this. Okay, let's do it. But then I have to realize and say, no, it looks like aggression, but it's just femininity. It's sensitivity, it's emotions. And so to the sensitive brothers, again, I'm just trying to help you out. I know you don't think I'm trying to help you, but I really am. Because what I'm seeing, I think a lot of it is unnecessary. It's a waste of energy. And I do think it could lead to conflict when you have people who don't understand each other. And so again, I'm seeing a lot of stuff and I'm left thinking, wow, that looks a little different to me. I don't understand that. And I'm at least willing to take the time to try to understand it. But there are some brothers who ain't gonna take the time to understand it. And so anyway, so just wanted to do that little thing, just talking about sensitivity. And again, where I think it came from, I think it came from the way we raised these boys. We didn't raise them as men. They got 8th place trophies. They became entitled. They got everything handed to them. And then now we're trying to throw them out into the world. And now they're interacting with men who had to work and rise and grind and get it out the mud. And I think I see conflict as a result of that. And so that's topic 1. Men and women are simply geared different. And I'm not sure when and where we stop believing that. I'm not sure when we stop believing that. Now, oh yeah, my brother, you can definitely be a man and still cry. There's definitely a way to go about doing things. Modern people are self-important, self-obsessed. And so what I'm sharing with you all is just things that I see. Again, these are kind of things that me and my brothers talk about when we hanging out. And so I got my All Mac Maduro. I got me my Ardbeg Ugadale. And now we're gonna dive into another topic. And this is definitely, I started the stream and I said, okay, this might be your last one because you're gonna piss off everybody. All right, deadbeat dads. Why are our boys all messed up? Why are they so feminine? Yeah, a lot of them didn't grow up with men. And the women did the best they could. Definitely. My mom, my aunties, they did the best they could. But they put me outside. Boys need to see manhood. Masculinity is crucial. Young men need to see it. And so for me, thank God I had the guys in the neighborhood who just wrapped their arms around me. Yeah, I got this All Mac Maduro. The men in my neighborhood saw me, reached out to me, and they filled the gap. They made sure I wasn't gonna be soft. And so they helped me out. Now, as we get into this next topic, let me know. Yeah, we do talk about cigars and whiskeys and whatnot. And so yeah, let me know what y'all smoking on, what y'all sipping on. Make sure you're hitting like, hit like. I never asked y'all to hit like. Let's get this conversation out there. I got my All Mac Maduro. Old Fogey, if he's got that Cameroon, oh man, that's a pretty exotic one. EPC. Yeah, I've been hearing about EP Carrillo, if that's what it is. Yeah, EP Carrillo. They've got some Cameroons that they've been putting out. Cameroon is probably my most favorite rapper. My brother here, Chris, just last night, that's what I smoked last night. I had a CAO Brasilia Gold. I had that up. I had that in my lounge last night. I smoked that on the inside. It was raining. I'm out in Southern California. It was raining, so I went ahead and lit that up. Stogie's got Mil Diaz Maduro. I haven't had that stick. I love Mil Diaz. I haven't had the Maduro with cranberry juice. All right, good. Keeping it healthy. Titan User X. No real man will be friends with a man who don't care for their children. And we about to get into it. We about to go way into that conversation. What's going on, Cigars Unbanded? I believe that's Brother Peter. Welcome, my friend. Oliva G. Titan's got the 64 Padron. Let me tell you my quick Padron story. And so last week I went to a cigar lounge. I was out in LA. And I went to the cigar lounge. I got me a Padron 26. I had water and a Padron and a coffee. And that cigar had me, I was gone. In fact, when I left the lounge, I said, okay, sober up. We're about to drive, sober up. I said, sober up? You didn't drink nothing. I started driving. I had to pull over and I stopped at a gas station and got me a chocolate and a Gatorade. And I'm driving like I'm drunk. Like, what is wrong with you? What did you drink? And I didn't drink anything. I had water. in that Padron 1926. That thing, it was really good. The draw on it was, I hadn't smoked a Padron in a while, and so smoking a cigar with the perfect draw, it shocked me. I mean, I was so used to struggling with a cigar. I didn't struggle with that thing at all, but it kicked my butt. That thing had me going. You know, my Brasilia last night, mine are so well aged, but that thing was, I think, was strong. It's a pretty strong cigar. All right, so we did our quick check. What I'm sipping on, Artback Ugadale. I'm just doing some hardcore man stuff with my Almac Maduro. The Winston Churchill is pretty strong. Okay. All right. And I'm smoking this right now. In fact, I might put this out in a second. Not that I don't like my Almac Maduro, but I got, as a second cigar, I got a Chinchale, and I think I'm gonna jump over into that. My brother Bronze got a Master Blend 3, Florida Antilles and some rum, and Peter's got tucking the kids in. It's gonna be whiskey and cigar time. And so Peter, like I said, when you make your selection, we going hardcore tonight. I said, what's the most manly drink I got? Got my Artback Ugadale. My wife smelled this one time and said, "Why are you drinking gasoline?" I said, "Because I'm a man. That's what we do." I like it. It's got some pleasant notes to it. Deadbeat dads. We talk about, in fact, I'm gonna waste this cigar and light up my next one as we do this. I really like this Chinchale. Deadbeat dads. And so it's so fitting that Peter just said, yeah, he's about to tuck the kids in. It's fatherhood. One of the things you start to realize, and so that's why I feel, not to say safe, but I got no problems just talking about man stuff on a cigar channel. Because I think a lot of us connect. We may not even know each other. But I know all of you are good fathers. I know that right off the bat. I know you are good husbands. And it would be such a shame if, as we talk about deadbeat dads, imagine how much of a shame or how much of a deadbeat, how much, I'll use some bad words. Imagine how much of a douchebag you gotta be, you taking care of your cigars, but you're not taking care of your kids. Imagine how much of a slime ball you gotta be. You got your cigars aging, but you don't even know your kids' age. And so we talked about sensitive men. They're so feminine. You know why they're feminine? Because they had to grow up. They had to grow up with just women. Oh, Fogey's got that Coy Hill, 148 proof. Yeah, I'll put some hairs on your chest. But the reason, so I'm always solution driven. And so sure, I want to get on the sensitive man and say, man, y'all sensitive, y'all soft, y'all feminine, y'all emotional. I'll get on them, but I'm always looking to see, okay, well, what else went wrong? What else went wrong? Welcome, brother Smoking Noble. That cigar, that apostate initiatory, Love that stick. I did a whole video on that. I love that cigar. What's going on, everyone? Welcome. Come on in, hit the like button. We talking about just some man stuff here. This is that show where I say too much, and this is one of those, brother might get cancer for what I'm about to say. A lot of men, deadbeat dads, dad left. And so for me, thank God I was able to, the neighborhood raised me. Flat out did. Went into the military. So thank God, and I think not old, but a stogie, cigar stogie, he said, his grandfather stepped in, helped out. And so thank God for those situations where other men stepped in. Brother Cordell became a stepfather. Man, stepfather, the father the children who the father never came to visit. I mean, that is absolutely heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking. I mean, it's heartbreaking for the child. Because I was that kid where daddy's supposed to pick you up at 5, and now you sitting, you looking outside, every car to drive by, is that him? Is that him? And after a while, you're like, nah, he ain't coming. To me, a deadbeat dad is just the worst thing. The only thing that even could compare to that is a man who puts his hand on a woman. Now, the reason why I say that second, because if you produce a child and you're not even taking care of that child, to me, it's almost, I wouldn't even say is inhumane or unhuman. It ain't even natural for animals to do that. Animals take care of their kids, especially if you're a mammal. And so when a man does that, and so many of us, we've lived with that pain, waiting, where's dad? Is he gonna come? And so you cause all this pain to a child, and because of your absence, so now that little boy, he's gonna struggle. Now, the neighborhood raised me, but they did a good job. I turned out okay. Sometimes it don't work out. Sometimes the neighborhood is gonna push that kid in the wrong direction. And sometimes that kid ain't gonna be raised by the neighborhood. He's just gonna be raised by mama. So he's just gonna be a little feminine. And so when we start looking at what's going on today, everything we talked about the first hour, why do you think these men act like women? Because they raised by women. That's all they know. And so can they have a conversation with another man and they can't. All they did is watch women gossip back and forth. So now that's their mannerism. That's how they talk. And so when they talk to us and we're like, what's wrong with this kid? And so that's why, again, I don't even pick on the victim. I look at the whole system to say what went wrong. And so we got a little boy raised by a single mom doing the best she could. He's probably gonna end up bad. Like old Fogey said, they're gonna just end up buck-ass wild. She can't even punish him too much. I remember one time my mom, was I a great kid? I probably wasn't. I wasn't. One time my mom was trying to discipline me. This is the Caribbean. It's a little bit different. The laws are different there. Don't call the cops on my mom. But for whatever reason, she was hitting me with a broom for some reason. Now, I used to work out, working out, playing basketball. And I just grabbed the broom, broke it over my leg, threw it, and just looked at her. Just walked away. And as I look back on that moment now, that was a woman just trying to raise a young man. Yeah, Chris, shout out to the coaches out there. Yeah, I used to coach youth basketball. And so everything that I'm saying, so in addition to being a pastor, I spent years coaching middle schoolers basketball. And I saw a lot of this. So me coaching wasn't even just about X and O's. It was about trying to make some men. And so here's what's going to happen. Either that little boy, he's going to end up feminine, or he's going to end up what they call toxic masculinity, because he don't know any better. He don't know that solid place of being a man because he hasn't seen it. So either he's going to be trying to be extra and try to be extra aggressive. Now he's fighting all the time and he's trying to prove he's a man. And I did that for a little while. I was fighting every single day. I got stories. I'll tell you one day. I once started a whole riot at my high school. Riot. Got suspended for about 3 weeks because I thought masculinity was fighting. So I knew it wasn't being feminine. And I knew, and then I tried being, tried fighting a lot. But again, thank God there were men that say, nah, man, here's what men do. Here's how we get down. Yeah, we're going to drink a little, smoke a little, we're going to talk, we're going to tell some lies. But yeah, there's a certain energy that you're going to carry yourself with. And so the little boy ends up being either too feminine. I told y'all, we're about to get canceled. We're about to get canceled tonight. Look, I had a good little YouTube run. I got another career. He says, when that happens, you end up, okay. All right, I'm gonna take that down. Yeah. Oh, Foggy, I hope you support me when I lose my monetization. I hope you chip in. We saying what we want to say tonight. I done drank the Ugadil. If I had drank something easier, I wouldn't say what I'm saying, but this is y'all fault. Balance. Well said, my brother. And we talked about that earlier. A woman is going to bring that love, that emotion. And a man is going to bring a little bit more practicality, pragmatism, stoicism. Brother Benny, yeah. My family is Jamaican. Yeah, it comes out when I'm around them. Speaking to y'all, a lot of times, that's why I might even. If you think I'm aggressive and talk, this is me talking as slow and as calm as I can, because I'm trying to make sure I enunciate, so you can understand what I'm saying. But yeah, normally I got a little bit of an accent. And so we see what the problem is. The little boy is going to end up messed up. The neighborhood might help him. The military might help him. A good coach might help him. But the little boy is going to have some troubles. Now, what if it's a little girl? She not raised with a man, so she don't know what a man looks like. She don't know what masculinity looks like. Who you think she's going to end up dating? She's going to end up with some knucklehead because she don't know what to look for. She ain't ready to be in a relationship. As Peter said, it's about balance. And so my kids can see how my wife and I interact with each other. They've got a model before them. Little girl grows up, she ain't never seen that. So she doesn't even know how a woman is supposed to act in a relationship, because all she's ever seen is her mother trying to be a man and a woman. And so she grows up a little bit too masculine. Now her relationships ain't gonna work because ain't no real man trying to deal with a woman who's too masculine. And so now you got this perpetual cycle of families that will not work because that little girl doesn't know how to be in a relationship. That little girl doesn't know what she's looking for. That little girl doesn't know how to be a woman because she's never seen a man, and she ain't seen her mom with a man. And so now you got the whole family that's just jacked up. And so then 20 years later, you got a guy like me running into some sensitive dudes, and now I'm taking it out on them. And so this is why I tell you I have to slow down and say, okay, it might not be this guy's fault. He probably doesn't know any better. And so this is what happens with deadbeat dads. And I'm not even going to go into economics and all this education, and because kids ain't gonna go to school and learn when home is all jacked up. Now, why am I talking about this? Okay, so if you follow, I don't know, if you follow different cultures and whatnot, there's a guy named Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm about to go in on Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar Johnson. And so if you don't know who Dr. Umar is, he fashions himself as being some great, I don't know who he thinks he's supposed to be, like the modern day Malcolm X. He calls himself the Prince of Pan-Africanism. He's supposed to be that guy. He's always on the Breakfast Club. He's always on different panels. He's always boundaries. And without even knowing Peter, I know his boys are good. I know his wife is good. Without even knowing the guy, just by watching. And so this is what I was saying earlier about sensitive men. You can just see it. You can see the way a man sits, the way a man talks. You can pick up on anything. I can look at a guy. I can look at the way a guy sits and be like, all right, yeah, I can rock with him. That's a solid dude right there. Now, Umar, Dr. Umar. And so Dr. Umar is always, he gives out what he calls lashes. Everybody's always getting these lashes. If you do something that he doesn't like. So if Tyler Perry does something, Tyler Perry needs to get 1,000 lashes. He's always on talk shows. He thinks he is like the black leader or something. And so what has come out recently? So Dr. Umar is always talking about, here's who a man ought to marry. Here's how a man ought to be. Here's how the community ought to be. And this man's daughter has come out and said, oh, my dad's a deadbeat. I'm 22. I ain't never seen him. He ain't been to nothing. He ain't been to a birthday party. He ain't been to a graduation. And she came out saying that, hey, you know what? I'm actually trying to find my sisters because he got other kids who don't even know him. And so now you got all these family members who are coming out saying, Dr. Umar, this guy who been on all these, he's written all these books, made all these speeches, like Cordell said, just talks real loud, is fake. And he's been doing this for years. In fact, he's got a school that he's supposed to be building. He's supposed to be building this school. It's a school called Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey. And he's been building the school for about 15 years. People have been sending him money. And it turns out this man ain't never been married, ain't taking care of his kids. Now his daughter came out and said what she said. And quick pause just to say, man, Warp cigars are just, the construction on them is just impeccable. I love Foundation. Was smoking that all Mac. It smelled pretty good. More been the result of the weather. I lit this chinchale up, and man, night and day. I gotta slow down. It's so much. The draw is so good, and the flavor. Oh man! And as a second cigar, and I'm smoking up. I just smoked an Olmec Maduro, drinking a high-proof Scotch, and this chinchale. I can taste all the notes, even though I'm talking to you all and doing all this. Great cigar. But Dr. Umar, been doing all this talking, making a big fuss for years. Turns out his house is a complete mess. Turns out his kids don't even like him. They don't even know him. His daughter calls him a deadbeat dad. And so what is his response? His response is, no, I'm current on my child support. I got all my paperwork to prove it. That's your response? And so then he's putting out videos almost dissing his daughter. And I'm thinking, how about you just take a little hiatus? Turn the camera off. Turn the camera off and just chill. No more speeches for you. Just come sit down. Come sit down. Come sit down. Get out the pulpit. Come sit with us. Come sit with the congregation. This ain't your time to be speaking right now. Don't respond. We don't need you going back and forth with your child who you never raised. And how are you going to tell us how to be men when you're not even raising your own kids? How are you going to tell us who to marry when you're not even married? How are you going to tell us what to do in our communities when you are what's wrong with the community? You're the one that's destroying the community. You're a deadbeat dad. You got at least 2 kids, 2 daughters who say you're a deadbeat. And I know life brings challenges. Sure, every relationship isn't going to work out. I get it. But that has nothing to do with your children. Your children should never say, oh, yeah, he was a deadbeat. He was never there. And so where am I going with this? Where am I going with this as brothers check in, smoking what they smoking? What's going on, Benny? Yeah, Warp makes amazing cigars. Where I'm going with this is to say, fellas, ladies, gentlemen, I think at some point we ought to just, my advice would be, look, if things ain't going good with you privately, just go ahead and chill. I think too often we're trying to have this public image, present ourselves. Look, there's a time for everything. If your life ain't going good, let's just chill. We don't need to hear about it on Facebook. We don't need to see videos of you just crashing out in front of us. If you know you're not taking care of your kids, if you know you're not taking care of your wife, if you know your mind and your money and things ain't going good with you, then just hit the pause button on your public life. And why am I saying this? Because I see so much people just crashing out right in front of us. And I feel as if we're in this place, this world where everyone wants to project an image. Everyone wants to say, oh man, I'm doing good. I got my channel. I got my Instagram page. I got my Twitter. I got my TikTok. Look, here's another rule. Until your life is together, you don't need to be posting nothing. Don't upload another video. No more Facebook posts. No more. We don't need to see another picture on Instagram. No more reels. No more tweets. Just chill. Get you together. I think we just got this mindset of, oh, I'm gonna project publicly and show. Look, because here's the reality. We see it. We know you jacked up. We can tell. You know, we can tell. You ever had that friend who his woman runs him, his girlfriend runs him, and now he want to give you relationship advice? Nah, dude, just chill. You chill. You ever had that friend who their kids is bad? I mean, you go over to the house and the kids are just bouncing off the couch and bouncing off you, and you're like, can you please control your children? But then later they want to give you parental advice. You know that broke friend who owes you money, but now he's talking about Tesla stock? Friends, let's just chill, get your life together. You can come back. Your comeback is going to be great. You're going to kill us when you come back. But until then, just calm down, get your private life in order, and then you could hit us up publicly and let us know what we need to be doing. And I guess I'm so upset about this is because we allow this. We prop these people up. We listen to them. We watch them. We like their posts and their tweets and all this. We retweet it, knowing that these guys are just lying to us. It makes me just wonder what happened to, I guess, truth and integrity and just real life. And also what happened to make a man show it. my channel, for instance, I've always had cigars and whiskeys and all this stuff, but I needed my life to be in a certain place before I turned the camera on. I needed to know something and be able to present and share. And I think too often we got people who should not be sharing, who are trying to share with us. And so simply put, if your life, and I ain't saying your life got to be perfect, but if you're going to be public, you got to take care of some things first. Take care of home before you try to have some public presentation. And then Dr. Umar, like I said, he's been building a school. That school been being built for 15 years now. Why don't we hold people accountable and say, hey, look, man, I ain't listening to nothing you say until I see some proof. Show it. Let me see that you're really living this. And then I say this because, we all scroll through YouTube and we see gurus, financial gurus, relationship gurus. You got people who aren't even married. They some kind of marriage expert. Literally not even married. Ain't got a dime to rub together, but giving financial advice. And we listen to these people. And so I'm always looking at the system. I'm always looking to see, is there something we're doing wrong? Are we promoting this stuff? Are we encouraging this stuff? And so these are some of the things that I think about when I'm just hanging out in the lounge with my friends. Now I'm smoking this Chinchale, which is just smoking so well. What's going on, Brother Titan? And I am smoking great cigar, drinking me this scotch. This is my truth serum on tonight. You talk about manhood, sensitive brothers, deadbeat dads. All right, gotta give you a little. We gotta talk cigars. Gotta talk a little bit about cigars. Yeah, brother. There's no accountability or integrity. It's almost like people can just jump, hit record and just say whatever. And again, I'm always looking at the system. I don't think there's ever victims. I'm always thinking, okay, who's promoting this? Who's supporting this? And the who, unfortunately, a lot of time is us. And so my thing is make a man prove it. Show it. And again, I think I just think we know this. I think we know when someone's solid and when they're not. Okay, cigar. I have a quick cigar discussion. It's supposed to be a cigar channel, right? So I got an email the other day from let's just say a Cuban cigar website. Brother just switched to a Perdomo 30th. I love the champagne. I've had, I guess, the 20th Habano. Didn't love it as much as I wanted to. And I know they've got like the barrel age selections. I heard the 30th is supposed to be really good. Enjoy that stick, my friend. I don't know if you guys got this email. I got it from a particular company that sells Cuban cigars, and the email to me says no more. We can't send you any more Cuban cigars, and then it made me say, oh man. And so I don't know if something happened in the world as far as international trade and international regulations. I don't know if it was just this one company. It appears to just be this one company, because some other companies appear to still be shipping and selling. And so it made me say, oh man, what am I going to do? Now, I'm so glad that I just bought some Cubans. And so I'm stocked up on my Romeo y Julietas. I got the short Churchills. I got my Monte Cristo 4s. And I just got the Prodigus Lusitania. So I'm stocked up on those. it made me say, man, what if I can't buy any more Cuban cigars? What if the administration changed something? What if I can't buy? So I don't know. Let me know. Have you guys gotten any indication of that? Have you gotten any notification? Again, I got an email from the company saying we can't ship you Cuban cigars anymore. And so it made me think, what happens if we can't get Cuban cigars? And I always told myself I'm never going to do one of those Cuban-esque lists. But I mean, it's for the people. And so what would be a good cigar if you can't? Yeah, Peter got that same email. Now, so from this one particular company said it, but again, like all of us, we probably got 5 different companies that we may. Oh man, a couple of companies are saying it. So I don't know if that's a shipping cost thing, maybe a tariff kind of thing. I don't know. Don't know what's going on. Oh, Benny's got the knowledge. Deliveries through Miami. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I mean, the international world is just in a space right now, and so that might be what happened. And so my question would be, so what would you get? What would you get if you couldn't get any more Cubans? This is blasphemy to me to say this, but what are the Cuban-esque type cigars? What are the cigars that you're going to now load up on because you can't get any more Cubans? And so, yeah, I just ironically, I knew I was going to be having this discussion. Yeah, well said, Peter. We got enough New World. Yeah. I think I just buy Cubans as a novelty. And again, okay, this is my own reason, and it's just BS. But remember, I'm from Miami. Grew up. I grew up with a lot. My best friend growing up was Cuban, and so that's why I don't know. Every time I smoke a Cuban cigar, it reminds me of home. So that's my home. But of course, we gotta get some Atabase. Gotta get Atabase. Don't make me take this beanie off. Now, Atabase. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shock you guys. Because, I got them. And I smoke them. And, yeah, so Atabase. It's definitely Cuban-esque. In fact, rumor is it has Cuban tobacco in it. Definitely Atabase. We can go with that. Yeah, I think the Polina Goldie, that's just it for me. The Martinique, that's definitely a good one. Oh yeah, you guys are bringing them out. And so it seems as if there's always this moment where we're left wondering, what do we do? And so yeah, again, Warp. And not that I was always against Warp. I always just thought that they were like just. I never got into Warp, but I'm sad that I didn't. I've really been enjoying them. The Chinchale is good, and even though personally I don't like the Cocodrillo, I can admit it's a good cigar. It's a fine cigar. It just has some slight taste that I don't like. And I've heard of the Don Warp makes a Don Ronaldo that I haven't had, but I've heard a lot of people say that that's really good. But yeah, this Chinchale, man, I'm loving the stick. Now, and I would always say, yeah, you guys keep hearing me talk about the Oyo de Nicaragua. Centennial, Connecticut, that one. So it seems as if most of the Connecticut cigars seem to fit the bill as far as good Cubans. And in fact, the way Connecticut cigars are becoming, maybe because they're using Nicaragua fillers, they're strong. I smoked a Brick House, Connecticut the other day, and that thing, yeah, I had to sit down. The My Father, Connecticut, these things are strong nowadays. And so to me, it even makes them a little bit better than a Cuban cigar. And so I just wanted to check in with you guys to see if you've gotten that indication of something happening with Cubans. And so be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. Yeah. My sister here, mild to medium type of cigar smoker. One of the things I noticed is I went from being a stronger cigars and now I tend to be in that medium. To me, it's more about the flavors. If you give me a medium cigar like this, I believe this Chinchilla, I think is quite medium profile, but the flavors on this is just great. Okay. All right, so we had some conversations tonight. I felt as if everything we talk about was a lot of man stuff. And the beauty of it is my sister here, 11's alone. So, in fact, if you got a channel, that's a channel, Cigars, Cocktails, Coffee, Conversation. And so she's been rocking, she has been rocking with the fellas tonight. So we definitely appreciate you. And so many, the sisters are always, like I said, I got much love for the sisters. Why? Because I got 4 sisters. And so I got a lot of love. A lot of my videos, women have always been helping me. A lot of my videos when I do cigar content and I say stuff like fellas or man. And if you check the comments for a lot of my videos, a lot of them is women saying, hey, change your language, fix your language, be more inclusive. And I say, okay, you got me. And so I always want to make sure that, Sisters of the Leaf, definitely welcomed. Even in the spaces where we're talking about a whole bunch of masculine stuff, because I do think, I know my wife, I know my sisters, I know they love nothing more than a masculine man. Balance comes into place. Marriages work, families work, communities work, everything works. And watching my mom try to be father and mother, a lot of women are going through it. And a lot of them don't want to. A lot of them are just doing it because they have to. And so I think that's why I like to have these conversations. I'm going to force us. And so I don't care if when I say it, you get mad at me because I say it. I don't care. I'm going to say even if I'm just starting a conversation and I'm forcing people to think about it, even if you disagree with me, at least you're thinking about what I'm talking about. And so, do I come across aggressive? Yeah. I'm going to call guys soft, emotional, sensitive, feminine. But now you got to sit and think about that. Why did I call you that? At least think about it. And so that's what I like to do. Just try to force some thought. Because I think we can fix the things that's wrong, but we got to at least acknowledge them. And then we can fix them. All right, last thing to talk about, man stuff. I'll hit you up with this real quick. We're an hour and 34 minutes into this. Last thing I'll say, and I'll say this real quick. I'm not breaking out bottles of cologne on you tonight. This goes for everyone, men, women. I thank y'all for rocking with us tonight. Missed y'all on Tuesday. I was out of town, but we should be back for the Tuesday. The Tuesday timeout. That one, Everything I do, I always think it's gonna be my last time, because I'm always like, after I say this, ain't nobody gonna rock with me after I say it, because I just live this truth. And so my show on Tuesday is gonna be good. I'm talking about some stuff on that one. Will it be political? Hey, I'm going to say what I want to say. Last thing, man stuff, I'll just leave you with this. Hey, quickly, dress the way you want to be addressed. That's it. Dress the way you want to be addressed. And so you walk in a room. That's why I'm big into, sure, the way you smell, but the way you look. Your suit, your tie, your shoes, the fact that you're wearing a suit. Or if you're not wearing a suit, the way you dress, that's the way people are going to address you. And so I did some shorts the other day, and you saw what I looked like throughout the week. I don't look like this walking into a corporate office. I don't look like this when I walk into my church. Whatever room I'm going into. Now, if I'm going to a lounge and I'm just kicking it with the fellas, then sure, I might be a little bit more relaxed. Because now if I'm sitting here with a suit on, that's going to mess up the vibe. And so dress the way you want to be addressed. And so if you're living life and people ain't respecting you, people don't give you that respect that you want, you gotta look yourself in the mirror. Do you look like you should be respected? Do you look like someone should address you and say Mr. last name? Do you look like someone ought to say sir to you? Do you look like someone ought to take you seriously? And so a lot of times we talk and we say, oh, people hating on me. And no, do you look serious? Dress the way that you want people to address you. And so as soon as you walk in the room, before you even open your mouth, it should be set. We talk about masculinity and manhood and all. Yeah. A man's got to walk in the room. Yeah, you got to have that swagger and that confidence, but the way you look. And so, you got a beard, get that thing lined up. Whatever style you rocking. Because yes, I used to have dreads, but my dreads was all together. Looked nice. I had dreads and suits on. I pulled it off. So you see the facial hair. Sometimes I got a beard, sometimes I don't. And the funny thing is you watch my videos and you be like, Monday's video, he has a beard, and Tuesday's video, he doesn't. Yeah, that's because I batch record and then I release them at different times. But whatever I'm rocking, if you're going with a beard, line that thing up. If you clean shave, all right, we'll clean it up. Keep it clean. However you dress, that's the way people are going to address you. So I want to help somebody out with that. As we wrap up, man, you are on one today, old fogey. That's because I don't know if you drinking that Coy Hill. Oh, let's see. Let me read this. Put it up and read it. Yeah, so lounges, I think it's just their overhead or just them trying to turn a profit. And so I went to a lounge. In fact, I'm going to talk about this on Tuesday. I went to a lounge a week ago in Beverly Hills, and they didn't have a great selection. They didn't have like Atabays and that kind of stuff. All they had were My Fathers, and they had Padron. That's why I got the Padron. But yeah, some lounges aren't going to have good stuff. I think it's just them trying to turn a profit. I'd love to see that. So you got a channel, El Presidente? Go ahead and shout out your channel. Is it your name, El Presidente? We'll definitely be looking out for that. I want to see it. And I want to support all us. Brother Ron talks about reading the room. Yeah, every space you go into is going to have a different culture. You got to pick up on that. And so, let's say if you're doing interviews, you got to be the best dressed one there. So when you show up, you got to have your suit on for that interview. I don't even care if it's a warehouse job. You got to be dressed up. But as you're walking through the office, and even as you pull up in the parking lot, you got to look at how people are dressed And then you got to be one above them until you get comfortable, until you get set. And so, yeah, I missed out on Tuesday. I was out of town. But yeah, Tuesday at 6:00. And then, you know, I'll let y'all know this. So I'm trying to streamline my process. And so I just talked about batch recording and whatnot. I'm always trying to see, how can I get more content out? How can I have my life set to where I can get more and better content out to you? And so I'm going to be, my plan is to get to, I believe, starting 2 weeks, you should be getting about 2 live streams from me and about 4 videos a week. And so I'm constantly trying to maximize what I'm doing here. And so my thing is, what I've learned is put out as much content as you can at the best quality that you can at a consistent level. And so I'm checking my own system to see what can I consistently do and what can I maintain. And so I'm always pushing to see, hey, can I do more? Can I do more? Can I do more? And I check my system, my life, and then there's more I can put out. So we're looking to do 2 live streams, Tuesday and Friday, and then I'll probably be dropping videos. I'm looking at Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, about 4 videos a week. And so we thank you for your time. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for sticking around. Hey, we taking the gloves off. Blessings, my pastor brother. Blessings, Stogie. Yeah. What can you do consistently in maintaining the right quality? And you don't want to do it and then all of a sudden your life falls apart. You're all stressed out. So what can I consistently do? But a month ago, 2 months ago, one of the things that I did very purposefully, it wasn't that I was trying to be, I realized the direction that the channel is going to go. And I realized that slowly I'm taking the gloves off and I'm going to just start bringing more and more of the truth. And I realized that, sure, my channel's going to take a hit. You know, you start saying stuff people don't want to hear. And so I had to slowly start working some of this stuff in. But as long as I see, hey, the people are rocking with it, if the people are supporting it, then I'm just taking all them gloves off and we bring in that right content. And so that's why we do this, to help out the people. Honduras cigars, I love them. That's why I love Alec Bradley. I'm also starting to really dig Costa Rican cigars. And so that is our time. We love kicking it with you. We survived this night. It was raining. I thought I'd be doing this in the rain. It's cold. We got that real content out today. Thank y'all for kicking it with us. Keep supporting this. Just hit like on your way out, just so others can watch this on the replay. So we can keep doing this for the people. We are here for you. And so like, comment, subscribe, but most importantly, rise and grind.